a
EOD.
Zelda and says, when we're going to be
a special kind of energy that makes me feel beyond inspired and motivated, the likes of which that I have never known before. It's through this research, along with being personally moved and touched, is very competitive. Not a lot of people are enrolled in it. I try to play for UCLA. There's only one game development class. Club, unfortunately, though, they aren't really active at the moment because of the pandemic. They're currently
first. If your passion is to truly develop games, you need to get experience developing games. Now, the good news, so that's the first thing. Find opportunities to actually build some games and generate your capability in that space. Always looking for feedback I would give you is we've talked a little bit about this is in the industry is going to be
understood. Thank you very much, Reggie.
Absolutely. Good
I
luck.
appreciate it.
Next, we have Jordan Boyd. It's a little bit tricky with 50 names. There you are.
Contributions to the industry as a whole. And I wanted to ask you, what are some of the more successful qualities you've noticed
in this space? Really high quality individuals, and these people must be exceptional. So the flip side must be true. If someone fails, then boy, they must be a problem. Executive for THQ, lost there. You should find Brian and buy him a cup of coffee and get his on getting into the big, expensive games. But I highlight Brian because he's such a quality individual that he shouldn't be defined by some unfortunate decision person. Stepping back for a moment, the qualities that impress me, then that's how you get companies that are unfortunate.
Over team and believe you have an exceptional game, what would be your general step-by-step process for executing and creating a successful marketing campaign in today's landscape?
Sure. So once. I could get them to try a game once. Breaking through the clutter, getting the word out. It's relatively straightforward. But if it's a bad.
Hello, Reggie, can you hear me?
Nick, I can hear you. Hello.
You may remember me.
That picture is a personal kind of sentimental drawing.
Recently we made Tangle Tower, but before that we made snipper clips with some of your fantastic teams at NOA and NCL. A couple of folks
to bring that really to a global audience. So thank you for that. Those individuals match the culture that you're trying to
event. I don't know if Reggie was there. Maybe you were, Reggie, but it's in New York, and everyone just flocked to snipper clips. There are many games at these events, as you know, and people really enjoyed that game.
March launch, we showed off snipper clips.
Mm-hmm. I went to the equivalent in London, and the folks there were very confused as to how we were so good at the game so quickly. We didn't tell them who we were.
Suits. We're reading about sort of these interpersonal acts of violence or harassment, but there's patterns. And so my question is as a leader, and are there any moments from your career you can point to as either success?
The way you that you're defining, and then not tolerating things that go against that culture. And it really is that straightforward. When I joined Nintendo and I defined the culture that I wanted us to have, I was crystal clear about And when I saw behavior that ran counter to the culture, I called it out. And if I saw individuals that repeatedly violated the culture, that I was no gray when it came to culture. And so, when you have companies that have a toxic culture, it's because leadership in their parts of the organization. And so, whether we're talking about the games industry, whether we're talking about uh, other big companies, whether you're talking about the smallest company down the block, that's how you have the problems that are now in the news. So it's unfortunate. I know many of the senior leaders there.
Something smallish is empathy is something that goes a long way uh, with folks who are critics and opinionated. So that has been my goal for 10 years.
Just recently. So, next up on the list, we have Dylan Toasty.
Hey, Reggie, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Kind of answered it when you said, join a company that's going to teach Nintendo related. So maybe the Nintendo fans will like this one more. So much has been said about Satoru Iwata, but not nearly as much has been said about Tatsumi Kimishima and Shuntaro Furukawa. Can you tell us, some things about those individuals, what they brought to the table, and maybe how their philosophies differ from each other, and then also from Iwata himself?
So, Mr. Kimishima was my direct boss. In a way, when I became president, then Mr. Kimishima became chairman. Mr. Kimishima had a finance background, so Nintendo CFO, Chief Financial Officer. Thank you all